Hello and welcome. Some pretty exciting news here for the channel. I actually was accepted as a content creator by the Watcher of Realms developers or community organizers, whoever it might have been there. So expect a little bit more content on this game going forward. That opens up opportunities for me in terms of contests I can take part in and all sorts of cool stuff like that I don't know if I can actually talk about much of it or not. But anyways, it's pretty exciting stuff. Definitely getting close to the 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube too, which is absolutely awesome. Thank you guys all so much for the support that I've been getting recently. I'm building a community of positivity, it seems, which is truly awesome. So we have the fusion going on here for Krodor, this absolutely clueless looking fellow right here, which means that we have to get 4 of this particular epic, which is actually also going to be a fusion, Draga. So she is a fairly cool looking champion. I believe she was actually in the game previously, and then we do need to use basically 4 of these rares to fuse into one epic, and then 4 epics into one legendary. If you come from something like Raid Shadow Legends, this is going to be entirely familiar to you at this point. I wanted to go over the champions though and give you my thoughts on them. So these are both defense scaling defenders with a little bit of physics enabled on them, it seems like. So basic attack deals 100% damage to one enemy. The ultimate is going to give her plus 15% max HP and plus 15% defense. An okay ultimate, I suppose, and the auto is going to attack up to 3 enemies ahead, dealing 150% damage and inflicting damage reduction, which is pretty cool. So they'll do 20% less damage to you. Overall, she might be able to be a decent tank there. Let's see what people are saying. Yeah, kind of meh. I think she could be a decent tank, but she doesn't really seem like she's going to bring much damage or utility or anything like that. And she does have a very high cost on her as well, it would seem here. So overall, probably a pretty meh champion. I would say the reviews on this are pretty accurate. The legendary, on the other hand, I was very meh about him. Let's see what you guys think. So he costs 19. He has a base block of 3, which is bang on average for, defenders. He's going to deal 100% damage to an enemy. His ultimate is going to increase block by 2 and defense by 70%. This effect lasts for 15 seconds. This could be good. The one problem I have with this is if you put the right artifacts on somebody like a... Oh, I'm trying to remember. The legendary, tank that everybody gets in this game for free. Right here, Olog. If you put the right artifacts on somebody like an Olog, I would argue that so far, based off the kit, he's going to do the same exact thing, if not better than this ultimate, just with his shield that he can place and all that sort of good stuff, right? Overall, though, this does seem like it could be a useful skill to have. Is it going to be, worthy of using your legendary skill crystals and stuff? I would say probably not. His passive, once the HP drops below 30%, he immediately enters a state of anger. He bellows at up to 10 enemies ahead and inflicts damage reduction on them. The next 5 basic attack change into striking at most 10 enemies ahead, dealing 150% AoE damage and inflicting stun. The ultimate is not available during this stage, and this effect can only be triggered 1 time per deployment. So essentially, he's going to sit there, soak up a bunch of damage. Once he gets below 30% HP, he's going to yell at everybody, tell them to do less damage, and then he's going to start stunning people, which is pretty cool. So, very cool part of his kit there. And then another passive, based on the number of adjacent allies, increases the damage reduction and damage dealt. The effect reaches a maximum of 12% when there are 3 allies in range. So that's pretty cool as well. Overall, I think this champion could be decent. Nobody has seemingly got him quite yet, at least. I'm a little unsure where to land on this guy, because he does seem like he'd be a very good tank, but again, like I say, I think there's even epic champions in the game that can do that tank side of things perfectly well. With this skill here, I'm just trying to think of like an area where you could actually get some use out of this, because in something like Gear Raid 1, you're not really using a whole lot for defenders on that, right? You might be able to get some use out of this in something like the... I've forgotten what they're called, apparently. You might be able to get some use out of this in, like, the Immortal Codexes, but are you going to build a champion, especially a legendary champion, just for the Immortal Codex? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm just here to give like a low spend or a free to play, because I'm completely free to play on this account so far. Perspective on things. If you're curious, this is how my roster's looking so far. I've gotten lucky where I have Valeria and I have Silas on the same account as a free to play player, which is pretty nice. I'm sure some people will be, jealous about that. And I have some decent epics here too. So honestly, in my opinion, I'm probably not going to go for this champion. I'm probably not going to build him. I have champions like I have Mariel here, who I quite like. I have Olog. I have Baron, who can be a very fantastic champion. I have Aatrox, who's not really a tank, granted. And then I have other options that you get, like Isolde. Just so many great champions. And then for just straight up defenders, I have somebody like a Regalius, whatever you want to call him there, who on his skills, he can basically damage share with people. He stuns people as well, and it's just, I don't know. The fusion, his kit seems very situational. Let me know what you guys think, though. By all means, I am still kind of a noob to this game. I've progressed decently in most areas where I'm farming like 18 on all the gear raids and stuff like that, but I'm definitely not endgame by any means. So if I'm missing something, if there's an area where I could get use out of this champion that I didn't mention in the game, or, if you're just like, oh, that's crazy, he's not mentioning this, or he's not thinking about this, let me know in the comments. I'm very happy to hear feedback and, figure out where I might be wrong, because at the end of the day, it's going to help me improve at the game too. So thank you guys so much for your time, and I'll see you next video.